This conference will now be recorded.
All right, so today is Wednesday, June 5th, and as always, everything that we're going to be talking about is for educational purposes only, and nothing is intended as any type of investment advice. And it looks like, nope, Derek's here. All right, perfect. So first thing we're going to be looking at is RWLK. So one of the things, coming up, it obviously made a beautiful move, and we got some really, really great volume that came into it. But looking at this, coming up towards that 11 level, we did get a little bit of buying here. Obviously the buying, underneath the 10 was way better. One print at that 10 level. Just be careful because this type of stock, you really want to make sure that you have that excuse me, that clear show of hand. Hold on one second. Sorry about that. Yes, but we want to make sure that we have that clear show of hand that comes back in. And you can see someone definitely unloaded underneath that 11 level. And right at the 11 level, looks like we're starting to get some selling coming back in. So let's just make sure that we get enough new buying that's going to be up there in order to really give us any type of ability to really continue itself. Next thing we're looking at is Tesla. Now, Tesla, guys, sometimes that's why we cut our losers. Because it doesn't mean that we took the trade, that it was the wrong trade. What it really means sometimes is that they're just building a lot more of a position than we expected based off of the prints that we actually saw. And looking at it right now, we can see we're right back up at that 198 level. Now, 197, 198 both have buying. And if we look coming into this morning, we had one print, 197.50. We had two prints, three prints coming in at 198 on that ass side. So we already know that we have the buying there. But we are getting a little bit more coming into this morning, which is definitely something that we're going to be keeping our eye on. We're going to be looking for a little bit of that pullback, even though if we can look at where the actual prints came in, you can see at 740, and then we did get, to come under pretty substantially. So just want to make sure once again we continue to get some buying here because unfortunately it is. It's just not, it hasn't really started printing yet, but 283,000 shares, it's definitely looking good. And we know, on average, to yesterday, $14.37, $8.70 on average. We know this thing's going to be a mover. And then AMBA, which isn't my favorite. It's on the bottom of my regular list right now. One of the reasons being is, once again, we made a nice move to the upside, but just not the greatest of prints. 43.50 is way too far away for us to even pay attention to anymore. Coming back down is that 43 level, which we got ask prints. Okay, so we really don't have anything that's showing us that the stock needs to continue back down besides those couple of ask prints. I just want to see once again, just something that's a little bit more definitive that comes into it. Once the market opens, we can see usually trades $1.48, so we should have a really excellent range coming back in. No reason to rush it, without really getting that show of hand, which we just, once again, it's how our pre-markets have been. We've had to wait, closer to the open of the market, if not, until the actual market opens in order to get those show of hands. And then I'm going to keep IFRX on our side list. And the reason being is just because obviously it dropped from 37.29 all the way down to $5 right now, but it actually still has some pretty decent movement coming back in. So more than likely, you're not going to be able to short it just because of the fact that it's probably shares are probably already out. But I'm going to be looking to see, we are getting a lot of buying that came in around this 5 level, so I am going to be looking to see if it comes back up. It might just be like one of those things. I'm not sure what the with actually going on, but it might be one of those things where we end up getting a really nice bounce back. So I'm going to keep an eye on it. But once again, just the way it is and the way that it's trading right now, almost looks like we might just get it kind of once the market opens, it just go into consolidation. Can we talk about Disney real quick? Of course. Let's see. See if we got anything. No, unfortunately, nothing really going on out there. You can see, it moved up a little bit from 134.50, 135.50, but there's just no prints coming in this morning yet. And then that's what I got. Let's take a look if we have anything new that came up on our scanners. Our scanners are a little bit weak this morning. We're not really seeing anything too crazy. So we have RWOK, which we already looked about. SRRA, you can see it's just way too quanty. It just does not move enough, 10 cents. So not going to be looking at that. We have CRON, CRON, which is just not really doing any type of trading. It's just kind of stuck in that consolidation right at that 55.50, 15.50. And I just don't really see anything there that I'm really too sold on. 15.50, you could see there was a little bit of selling that came in, and then it's pretty much been buying ever since. So, underneath that 15.50, towards this print line, possibly make sense, just based off the amount of ask prints, but it's just not, the selling just not enough of the, enough for us to be able to come back down. I see burst at 1350 and 132 pivotal. So let me see. But I mean, right now it's at 1550, so 13, I don't see any prints at 13. Yeah, I don't see from this morning. Gold's flying nugget. We'll look at that in a second. Yeah, so it's not terrible, but it's towards, once again, it's towards the bottom of my list, CRON. Oh, PVTL. Okay, let's take a look. All right, so PVTL, yeah, but see, the problem is just look at the way that it's trading. On average, it trades 82 cents. Okay, so we do, it should be a little bit more than that. But coming over that 1350, it's just kind of surrounded completely by selling. I'm just not. It's just way too consolidated for me to be looking at. To look at this, coming into the morning time. I'll put it on the list, but it's definitely I'm 100% not going to be the person that going to be looking at this to make the first type of trade this morning. It just does not have the highest chance of getting away from our entry, and obviously that's our main goal. Then moving along on our scanners, AEO 277,000, but just nothing really going on there. We know Roku took a jump overnight. Roku's actually looking real good. We're going to keep Roku on our list. The only thing is our list is getting a little bit long, but it's no big deal. But you're definitely going to want to pick up what you're looking for before pick out what you're going to be looking at before the market opens. Otherwise, you're going to end up jumping around a little bit too much. Roku, 97.50 coming back up. Unfortunately, don't really have too many prints there. We have that one at 97, but if you look right here yesterday as we came into the morning time, 7:58, we had prints at 94, which doesn't really help us too much right now, but overall, definitely looks like we're going to be a mover today. Moving along, DWT, ETF, not going to look at it, and GNW is just not really something that we're going to be having. I was looking at CRM before. CRM's a stock that you pretty much are going to be able to trade almost every single day. I mean, it's got a range of $3.64. It also has, on average trades about $5.5 million. CRM ask prints at 155, which is yes, but if you look at when the ask prints were, it was from yesterday in the aftermarket, and we're going to keep those in mind, but unfortunately it's just not something that I like to really focus on as our prints. Yeah, it's got 2 prints this morning. I mean, looking at that, which is just, I mean, it's definitely shows something. It's just really not enough. We want to see a little bit more of the volume coming back in. So definitely something to look at. It's just not, I'm not sold on it yet. Okay, before we really get something that comes into there. Was this a pull-up in Tesla? No, a pull-up would be if it was on selling, which it definitely had selling on its way back down. But remember, the reason that it pulled back in the first place was what? The dominant market makers at 198 and 199 buying. So this is a move towards the upside. Especially, it just got another 2 prints at 198.80 on the ask side, and this morning 198 obviously was the prints that we talked about before. And then moving along, we have ACB, which is not going to be anything. Now, moving over to the loser side of things, we need, we don't really have much. So IFL RX, we've already spoken about. We come over to GME, which I just hate this company as a whole. And I've been talking about this since it was in its 25, 30 phase, where I just think it should have been, coming right back down. But it's just not a day trade. Just does not move enough for us to really be looking at. PVTL, we've already spoken about. We have Dust, which is obviously the inverse of Nugget. If you're going to trade an ETF this morning, you might want to take a look at, but not going to go over that. And then that is pretty much it. You consider yesterday's $4.50 move in BDU your daily trigger. Let's go into BIDU. Okay, if we look at it, what do you think? Okay, we have about average volume. What do we talk about? Would this be a trade for us to take? Now, I wish the price action was a little bit higher, but yes, I definitely, coming into the close, that is a spot where I would certainly take a shot. It's not the great. Well, see, remember, we don't want the volume too high on the daily, because almost always when that happens, you end up seeing it come back up. Like, for instance, you could see when we came, into volume, we end up kind of getting a push back towards that upside. So I'm perfectly fine with average volume. I mean, the volume could see started to go back to almost a little bit normal. Volume could be better. It's not the best, but it definitely could be better. Okay, but we finally got that move towards that upside where we got, the trigger. So it was an iffy one. It's not terrible, but it's not the best. 10 mils, yes, no, 10 mil might be a little bit, somewhere around like right here, right around like 8.5, 9, somewhere around right about in that area is what I would have really been looking for. But we want to see that sign of a trigger of them actually releasing it back to where those prints were to show us they're going to make money on their original position. Okay, so out of like if the trigger is like out of 10, it really would be pretty much like a 6, maybe a 7. You can make an argument with just because of the time frame that it's taken for it to actually kind of start moving. All right, guys. Anything else out there that I missed? Nope. All right, beautiful. Let's get ready for the morning. Remember to, I know today was a long meeting, but let's remember, okay, tomorrow is going to be a silent, well, not silent day, but we are going to be silent. And I mean myself and Donna and Paul, and we are going to basically observe. So we're going to have a meeting at like 3:45 to go over our day tomorrow. All right, I'm going to be here all day. It's just we're not going to be saying anything. So remember that, okay? Okay, it's going to be a real test of what we've learned so far and kind of where we are at. All right, happy trading, everyone.